involved. What the students are taught, you see, in our particular problems now about physics, there are many bigger numbers. The numbers are much bigger. It's hard, the numbers are so enormous you can't count them directly. And so we've invented a fantastic array of tricks and gimmicks for putting together the numbers, adding, counting, checking, and so forth, without actually doing it the way I could describe what we're trying to do. If I say, I draw this and I draw that and I draw this and I draw that and I see where the end point is, we don't actually sit down and draw 7,000 arrows and find out where the end point. We have a way of figuring out where it comes, just like we don't actually count 415 pennies and 287 pennies to find out that you owe me 702 pennies. We do it by another trick. These are the tricks of mathematics, and that's all. So that's the part I'm not going to worry about. We're not going to worry about that. So don't relax. You don't have to know mathematics. All you have to know is what it is. All it is tricky ways of doing something which would be laborious otherwise. So it's true that in the years we have developed enormous abilities in mathematics, and it takes a long time to train the students, and so therefore they're very highly educated in that. But if you ask them why, now we go back to the Mayans, we ask them why. Why, when you fill up a tub 8 times with 365 day markers, it comes out that the Venus is up 5 times. They don't know. They don't understand at all. The more accurately they can do it, the fact that they know that they have to change it by 6 days and so forth adds nothing to their understanding of it. The student who has learned all this mathematics and is able to make these calculations, not only of Venus, of the Mars, the Sun, the eclipses and everything else, is a super priest, doesn't know why any better. And if he would explain it's nothing but counting days, he would be reduced to the truth on the one hand and to an honest statement that he doesn't understand it on the other hand, and could tell somebody all about it who doesn't know how to count all these numbers so trickily and so cleverly as this priest students knew. Okay? Now, probably, I don't know about philosophy of Mayas. We have very little information due to the efficiency of the Spanish conquistadores and, well, mostly their priests, who burned all the books. They had hundreds of thousands of books, and there's 3 left, and then one of them has this Venus calculations in it. So that's how we know about that. And just imagine our civilization reduced to 3 books. The particular ones left by accident, which ones, see? So, anyway, I get off the subject. If I make this up now, what I'm saying now is just a story. Suppose now that the students would discuss, or people would discuss the possible meanings of this. Why? Then they would begin to think about, well, 8 times 365 is 2920. That's got 2 2s in it. Now, 2 is a lucky number, and it has 2 2s in it. And then the 9 represents the god of so-and-so, which is related to Venus, and so forth, and that would be a good argument. Then, but in another city, some other guys getting together who have a different kind of an argument about it. They say, look, now, the fact that there's a 20 at the end, if I subtracted that away first, I get 2,900, which is a especially good number from blah, 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 and so on. And they would have different theories. And then someone would come along and say, you know, it doesn't make any difference which one of these theories is right. We still have this fact to go along with. And that is our modern scientific point of view. In the earliest days of science, we got confused arguing philosophically what was a reasonable reason for nature abhorred a vacuum, or it seemed to be nice that gods were doing it. There are different kinds of psychological reasons for thinking it probably is all right after you discovered what it was. These things were never useful for predicting what should happen next, and we soon learned not to make these arguments. It's useless. It doesn't add anything, and so we're not going to make my imaginary Mayan arguments about the various gods that make the numbers. And so I'm left, if I'm a modern scientist, with a description of the situation.